In the final segment of her series, Breaking the Cycle, Oregon's Attempt at Recovery, Elise Haas holds the powerful accountable.
And right now, she is posing that important question. What meaningful actions are they willing to take? Elise is here now with much more.
So we really highlighted the intertwined nature of addiction and mental illness, and it's a significant driver of the current challenges and suffering we see on the streets. That's why parents in Oregon are pushing politicians to take decisive action.
There's a predictable pattern.
Addressing leaders in Salem, Dan Garris shares the trials and tribulations his daughter Alexa faces.
We have a 32-year-old daughter who's suffered for many, many years under the weight of some ups and downs in her mental illness. She lives in a world of delusion a lot of the time. She has a form of severe schizophrenia, sometimes psychosis.
A few weeks ago, our initial coverage brought to light Alexa's harrowing journey, battling addiction and severe mental illness for more than a decade. She has repeatedly cycled through mental health and criminal justice systems.
It's no excuse for letting somebody go back out on the streets when they need the highest level of care.
Dan is a fierce advocate for his adult daughter and others like her who need lifelong care.
I just wonder, and Joy and I wonder this together, why safety and security and dignity for the severely mentally ill has to be so hard to achieve in a civil society.
Oregon lawmakers sympathize with his story.
Dan's story is heart-wrenching. It's just a reflection of a systemic failure of our state.
Representative Kevin Mannix serves Kaiser and North Salem. He sits on the new Addiction and Community Safety Committee. Currently, he and his fellow lawmakers are gathering ideas about how to handle these problems. They aim to pass new bills in February's short session. But Mannix is already eyeing the Dome building, which is right across the street from the Oregon State Hospital.
It is a building that is totally secure. It is a building that has everything you need in terms of heat, lighting, plumbing.
This empty, state-owned, roughly 67,000 square foot property, he estimates could care for 400 mentally ill people.
My message to the governor and to my fellow lawmakers is, please convene the emergency board. Please have the emergency board allocate the necessary funds to reopen the Dome building as a state hospital facility and to bring in emergency staffing. It may not be fully occupied, it could be partially occupied to address the mental health and criminal justice crisis we have confronting us right now.
Mannix claims the state insists they'd need to spend $10 million and many months to make the Dome building earthquake-proof first.
Instead of saying we're going to vacate it, let's use it now and worry about the earthquake protection plan for the future, not for right now, because what we have is a community need today.
Regardless, he says the money is there.
There's $471 million in additional revenue in this biennium that's coming in that hasn't been budgeted or spent. It's extra money coming in, and it could be dedicated to address these issues.
Other lawmakers see a longer road ahead.
This is a problem that has been decades in the making. No idea is going to be off the table.
Representative Rob Noce represents Inner Southeast and parts of Northeast Portland. As the chair of the Behavioral Health Committee, he assures that prior legislative investments will result in 1,000 more beds for the mentally ill and addicted within communities across the state by July 2025. And do you feel like there is a need for long-lasting, long-term care for a small percentage of people who may not have the capability to live independently?
Absolutely, there's no question. And I think that there's a lot of my colleagues that want to support those kind of initiatives. It's figuring out what it is that we need to stand up, what does that look like, and then honestly, how do we pay for it?
He says ensuring adequate staffing for facilities remains a significant challenge. However, the importance of high-quality staff can't be overstated. It's crucial to prevent a reoccurrence of the disturbing conditions seen at insane asylums of the past. So what does a dignified space look like to you, and what do you think that could look like for her in the future?
I think that means that we have a lot more sort of housing that's dedicated to people that are struggling with mental illness or disability, that's in the community, that's close by, that's staffed by professionals, that pays a wage that's competent for those professionals to be able to do a job and feel good about it, and also not be living on the edges of poverty themselves. And what I would say to that dad and his daughter is that there are lawmakers that are trying to figure this out.
Dads like Dan are waiting.
So we, as parents, and I'm sure there's lots of other parents like us who sit there in that circumstance and wonder, when's the shoe going to drop?
Waiting for the day Oregon sees what true compassion is, moving beyond bleak institutions or holding tanks for the mentally ill, and no longer abandoning them on the streets. Instead, realizing dignified, secure spaces that provide exceptional individuals a chance at a purposeful life. The new Addiction and Community Safety Committee met in October and November with plans to meet again in December and January. And it's an unusual move, but again, it's because lawmakers are gearing up to tackle these very challenges come February.
And you touched on this, having the staff of professionals who are paid well because they're professionals to care for those men. I mean, that's the other problem that they're facing right now.
Oh, very much so. So it's key that we have high quality staff who can take care of people with such high needs. And on top of that, Governor Tina Kotek really also is trying to key into this and help to take action in Portland. So she actually set up the Central City Task Force to tackle the city's issues. Their recommendations are dropping on December 11th. But I also know that one idea of theirs includes adding about 250 treatment and psychiatric beds as soon as possible. And that's something that I discussed in part 3 of my series. Plus, the governor is also pushing for new laws to crack down on public drug use in the upcoming session as well.
Yeah, there's so much to this, of course, and it's the question of how soon will these changes happen. You asked some really great questions in your reports.
Yeah, I can tell that people are energized. There's some things that not all lawmakers agree on, but they do definitely agree on the fact that what's happening right now is unacceptable and not compassionate.
Okay, and that's what we like to do here at Coin 6 is take a problem and look at it all this month. All your stories have focused on getting Oregon. How do we recover here? How do we tackle these problems? Excellent reporting, Elise.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, way to go. And we want to remind you that this reporting wraps up our 6-part series, Breaking the Cycle, Oregon's Attempt at Recovery. And if you missed anything, you want to rewatch it, you want to share it with folks. Well, anything from the realities of relapse because of new street drugs, even to the heated measure of the 110 debate. Catch all of that in one spot. We have it for you now at coin.com. All you got to do is type in to the search bar, Breaking the Cycle. Coin